My left, not your left. Nice. The camera's pointing this way. We're using
Siyata Dishmaya. Sorry? Siyata Dishmaya. We'll go over the two economics. With the help of Hashem, we'll go over through the two economics, try to explain the study here, and see what is the rise of Rabbi Yosef. Okay? So we have here story of Zainamud base. It was this man that got married Beshiroi. What a Shiroi is silk. He gave an engagement, Kiddushin, to a woman with Shiroi. You don't need an appraisal before. You have the appraisal. If he said whatever, marry me with this, whatever it's worth, there's no argument, you don't need truma because she agreed. They said 50 is not worth 50, is not worth. Going to everyone's no good. Kipligi, what's the argument? We said 15 is worth 50. Rabbi says you don't need shuma. Why? Though shovu chamish was worth chamish. Yosef Omar Rabbi says tzich shuma. You need shuma. Okay, when the Isa solo he became a shuma, since a woman is not professional in appraisal, lo yisam chadato. She doesn't rely on it. Ikadamre. The kol dunami plige. Ikadamre says also the kol does machloikis. What does the word nami normally means?
well.
As well. Also, not only chamishi v'shovu chamishi, which is a problem of smichus das. There's also a problem of Rabbi Yosef Omar shvekes kekesef. Only ma kesef the kites, as shvekes the kites. So you need to be cut. For 1 second. If he says, "Behold, do I want to marry you with this, whatever it's worth?" There's a problem of kites. Even though there's no problem with smichus das because she agreed, whatever it's worth, but there's a problem that is not cut. What happens if he says 15 is worth 50? So then it's a problem of smichus das. What about the problem of kites? We have a problem of kites when I say 15 is worth 50. Why? How do we know? We didn't appraise them. We didn't appraise them yet. So therefore what? Very good song. Is the good middle of the song. And when he says 50, very good. Very good. That when he says 50 and it's worth 50, it's considered cut. In one way it's cut. If it's worth less, it's not cut. It's just words. And if it's worth more, it's moichel.
How do you know that?
She says it's worth 50.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. But when he says it's worth 50, he does say that if it were worth 50 or more, I forgive you the change. You don't have to give me it back.
The same equivalent.
So therefore, it's and that side is a cut number. That means if it's worth 50 or more, it's the same.
Who does that become for? Him or for her? Or for people watching the situation?
I don't know. Oh, maybe everybody. But if it's worth less than 50, you don't know. That's not unclear. But at least if it's worth 50 or more, it is clear that this is it. No matter what is it. So the Goyim Vilna says that according to the Ikad Amre, when they say Bekol Dunami Plige, he's only saying in Koldu it's no good according to Rabbi Yosef because you need kites. But Chamishi was worth Chamishi. I have kites. What is the Nami? What is a Nami? According to this, what is Nami?
They're arguing about another, but it's less. But it's called
again. When it's Koldu, there's an argument because not cut. Even though she agreed with not cut. When he say chamishim, it's worth chamishim. Gemara says bekol dunami pligi. Also by chamishim, worth chamishim. What's the machlokes? He just said now. I say chamishim, it's worth chamishim. There's no problem of kites. So why have Yosef there? He would say it's no good.
Nami going back onto the
What?
over here.
And what?
Kobe.
We say ikanamri bekol du nami pligi. What is nami pligi? So what you just said now, that by 15 it's worth 15. There's no argument. Rabbi Yosef agrees. It's cut. So why is arguing with it? Also yes. Also yes. Because it's not kites. What's the word also means also 50 is worth 50. But you said now 50 is worth 50. Rabbi Yosef admitted that it's cut.
But it goes on what he says.
He says it's good, so he says it's worth 50. It is worth 50. So Rabbi Yosef should admit that it's worth that it's Mekodeshes. Why he says Nami? Where's the Nami goes on?
Goes on the argument. They're arguing on everything.
It's explaining. We just said now that they're not arguing. Your Svara was that they're not arguing. Only
They're not arguing. That's what he says.
right. So what is it? But the Gemara says Nami means they're arguing on both. In what way they're arguing when he says 50 is worth 50? Right, but if we go this Nami, so what's be the pshat? The answer is that we're adding two svaras. One svara is that no smichus das. So when I say 15 is worth 50, there's no problem of kait, but there's a problem of smichus das. And when I say koldu, there's no problem of smichus das, but there's a problem of kait. So he's saying I own both svaras. As long as I don't remove both svaras, there's no good. That's it.
She has to go on what he said.
And since he doesn't know, no smichus das. So mitzat smichus das. So when the Gemara says ikanam Rabbi Yosef koldu nami, it means according to what you just said, according to the Rebbe Vilna, they're arguing on two svaras, which is Rabbi Yosef says I cancel this kiddushin from two reasons. Reason number one is when I say 50 is worth 50, there's no problem of kites. There's a problem of non smichus das. When I say cold, there's no problem of smichus das, but there's a problem of kites, and I hold both reasons are no good. The beach.
Today they've got the girls that got so many diamonds that they know more about than the people that need diamond districts in New York City.
He said the reason why that
Their coach, they've got all the guys
Right, so that
they go watches, diamonds, yellow gold, orange gold, red gold, every kind of.
I saw that. You were there. You were there in the diamond districts.
That's where I had my rings.
They're all Jewish.
My one grandmother gave old stones that she had, little stones. The other grandmother gave little tiny stones all around. When I got divorced, I tried to buy them back. She wouldn't give me really pulled a pair of hard cash. Rings that I had from my grandmother's stuff.
What did your grandma?
But isn't the dash?
I did it in the diamond district.
What?
Did it in the diamond. Babel, Mr. Babel, in the diamond. That's where we meet.
They have a minion there every day.
Yes, I mean.
Yeah.
Borokov's father works there.
Yes.
Oh, there are a lot of fires there. Diamond dudes no, but it's because that's totally kite. Meaning if it's kite, then she has so much that. If it's not kite, then she doesn't have to.
Right.
So it's totally never said.
No. When he says cold do, so she agrees.
Right,
But there's a problem of kites. So I have a case where there's no problem of there's a problem of kites. When I say 50 is worth 50, there's no problem of kites because I said 50.
You don't need a kite.
And it's
What's the word?
if you give
Problem
them
what?
they're left over. But it's a problem of circumstance. Yes, who's talking there?
What's the problem? What's the word? What's the problem?
Repeat.
I know what the problem speakers does. What's the second word? I just said it too fast. I know what the word is.
I said that according to this Girsa, Nami means Rabbi Yosef has two reasons why Kiddushim will not work here. One reason is kite, second reason is smichus das. I can
What's
have
the word
case where
kites
there's
mean?
one
What,
problem, not the other, and then they have another case where there's a problem of the other, not the one.
Why do we have to change so?
what's that first
Well,
word?
since
You
you
can't
said-
quite understand what that word is.
But so I don't know which words I didn't say that you understood me. So I'm going to go over what I
You
said.
said smichas das. I understand. What's the other? What's the other concept of that smichas das? What's the other one?
Kites. Kites means cut. The number is not cut.
Cut. No, that's one of the cut. That's okay. That's what.
Kites. Okay. So Rav Yosef says,
Yeah.
Ikanamri, Bekoldu, there's also Rav Yosef arguing is also because there's another reason of kites. He's not removing the first svara. The Ikanamri is not removing the first svara of Rav Yosef. When I say 50, the word 50 is out because there's no smichus das, because I didn't appraisal before. But when I say kol do is smichus das, kol do. But he says, no, but there's another reason why I knock it out. Another reason. It's not kites. 50 is no problem of kites, it's a problem of smichus das. Kol do is a problem of kites and no problem of smichus das. That's it. This is the goy mivro. You look at the goy mivro, if you have it, goy mivro. Go on, and then go on. Time when Lynn living is there. Also, time when it says also the time had the Mesilas is showing. Yes. Really, they go on with you. Miu im v'chule. Bekoldu loy do'amar lebefeirush koldu. It's not that he said clearly mefurash koldu.
Is the machine working?
We probably have to wait that it's coming back. I don't know if Benjamin.
Oh, he walked away.
Sometimes it's come back. It's coming back sometimes.
Sometimes it goes away and then comes back.
Sometimes, yeah. But I don't know. Oh, maybe we should call Binyamin. I don't know.
Oh, so I think I gotta call him.
I don't know if I.
Okay.
I'm not sure I have this. But usually,
No, I have his phone.
usually it comes back by himself. Usually.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday also a few times it was. I'm not sure I have the.
Well, it's better to call him because okay, I'll call him.
It's if she forgives. And she didn't say that, she doesn't. So what's the argument Nami when the Gemara says also the Koldu? What is Nami? Nami has to go on 50 is worth 50, right? What's the argument there? There's no problem of kites. The problem is Michus Das. What the Pligi Boim HaChamishim Mitam Rishoin, from the first reason of what? That it's not no Smichus Das. This is the Goyim Vilna. So the Goyim Vilna explains when the Gemara says, Ika Nami Bekoldu Nami Plige. What is Nami Plige? Not only Bekoldu, also by 1550. The Koldu, there's an argument. Even Stam is like Koldu, is not cut, is out. But when he says 50 and it's worth 50, no problem of cut because it's moichel the more. So it is cut. The number is cut. But why is no good? Nami Machlokes, for the first reason, there's no smichus das. Capish? Is it clear? The Gemara says, Omar Abiyos. I'm continuing on the Gemara. Leave alone the Goyim Vilna a second. Gemara. Omar Abiyos, Oisa says. And I mean a lot. How do we know this? How do we know that there's a problem of kites? And always when I marry a woman with metal to the movable, I need to have an appraisal. I used to have a cut or appraisal or cut number by him. Say cut number. I have to agree to a cut number. If it's not kites, it's no good, right? Where does he know it from? How do we know it from? The Tanya Mikesa Mignato. It says by Vedibri, Mikesa Mignato. Of the money of his acquiring, you redeem it. What does that mean? Let's say you acquired it with 600,000, 6 years. Every year is 100,000. He worked 3 years. You deduct 300,000. You live with 300,000. He acquires himself with money, but not with grains investment. What does that mean? What does that mean? Not grain investment. If you want to say you cannot acquire a slave with grains invested, that's not possible. The Torah says, whatever he can bring him back and redeem him, do it. To add to superfluous, even value of money is like money. If there is no value of puto, so one have to come on to exclude it for 12 keli. Even kesef, even money, if it's not worth, it's not worth. Ella must be digital. Must be that it has a value. So why is no good? It's a group that Rabbi Yosef. Why does it make sense? Why the Torah exclude wheat, grain, and vessels? If it's not worth, it has nothing to do with kesef. It don't do with killing. Anything is not worth, it's not worth. And if it's worth, why not? Must be because that's cut. He didn't cut the number. Once the matter with the grains and vessel, he didn't cut a number. None cut is no good. What? But if it says there's no good, means in a case where, but otherwise, according to Rabba, that you don't need cuts, so why is no good? Yeah, they know. Kesef in those cases means silver that was cut and sealed. Yes. Numbers cut. Yes, like coins by us.
Unbelievable.
The Persians are the first one in mass production. They did coins with stamps of kings. Then the Romans expanded around the world, multiplied for hundreds, 10 times more. The Roman coin. But it started with the Persians, but the Romans are the ones that really added it and made it big. But in the time of the Gemara, time of the Torah, kesef was a piece of silver with a certain shape and weight that are worth. There was a dinar, there was selah, different types of size and shape of like coins, but without a stamp of a king, just a number and size and a cut that came from Tzol, the city of Tzol. City of Tzol was where used to produce the shape of the kesef. And that's a shape. Kesef shezu. Nascha means silver with no shape. You don't know how much is weight. The kesef means had a shape and had a number, you know how much it weight. Doesn't mean that a picture on it, picture came in later. But okay. What? The Gemara says that in the end of days, the Romans will come to Shamayim, say, listen, we created money. We made money and we multiplied it in many, many ways, gold and silver. They found they dug it from the ground, they stamped it, and they made the whole industry of money in a big way. It was the Romans that did it. Markets, and they made the trading in the world in the biggest way. Today, all the trading in the world came from the Romans. Right? So Hashem said, no. It's no, you fully. The kesef is all belongs to me. When they said they build markets, they build bathhouses, he said you build for yourself. When they said about money, he didn't say for yourself, he said something else. He says the kesef all belongs to me. Why? Why didn't he answer the same answer? So I understood something very deep. To teach you something is worthwhile to come in just to hear this word. Very deep, very serious. Because kesef ezov is kingdom, kingship, rule. Because Shlomo HaMelech says, kesef yanas hakoil. Kesef makes everybody answer. It says that Rabbi Nossi used to honor rich people. Rabbi Talfon used to honor rich people. Rabbi Akiva used to honor rich people. They're rich themselves. And then it's true that money gives ruling, and it gives shilton. And shilton belongs to Hashem. Kingdom in the world belongs to Hashem. Heart, lei melochim v'sarim b'yad Hashem. The heart of kings and ministers, the hands of Hashem. So why you need to answer by money that you did it for yourself? Because there, money is not a question did it yourself or me. The money is not yours altogether. Money is in the world of Malchus. Anything in the world of Malchus in the hands of Hashem.
Taking someone else's thing and charging money.
Yes. Malchus belongs to Hashem. Can't touch Malchus. So money is malchus. So my wife asked me when I told her the story, my son, I remember, said, what will happen if somebody has money but nobody knows he has money? I said, he's a king and nobody knows he's a king. Doesn't talk. So why? The truth is, yes, but why? 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 He says, because really, the fact you have money, you can move things. And the fact that nobody knows yours, so don't give you honor, doesn't mean that the money doesn't move things as ruling. So you have the ruling without ruling for yourself. So still the king. That's a proper king. The king, it says, a Jewish king, it says in the Zohar, Malchus, there's nothing of himself. When you have Malchus, the sphere of Malchus, you have Chochmah Bina Das, you have, right? You have, right, whatever, Keter, Chochmah Bina Das, you have, whatever it is, the 10th spheres, yes. The lowest one is Malchus. Malchus has nothing of itself. Everything is in front. Once you have so yourself, you're out. Once you think it's yours, you're out. So, really, he takes it away. And if he doesn't take it away, so it's against you. Yeah, but in money, the kingship shows more makbi. There's more makbi than kinship. Why? Because you're ruling on others. If yourself, you have your own bechira, Hashem gives you to be the king on yourself. But when you take kingdom of others, money means kingdom of others, Malchus is ruling others, that's already in the hands of Hashem. Yes. It's kingship. Be yourself, yeah. Yeah, I understood that very deep. Yes. I understand that, and I understood that. Yes. I understood that. I told my wife to ask Simon. You know, Simon, the little token went down to the phone. Registered in my mind. He said, why Hashem said, gold and silver belongs to me. He didn't say he did it for yourself. Not knowing yourself. It's not yours for yourself. You think it's yours. Kesed belongs to Hashem. Very serious, very real. And that's the truth. It takes years in life to understand that, but it's true. It's really true. Money belongs to Hashem. Gold and silver belongs to Hashem. That's what it is. What? I learned it again and again after a long time. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what is the difference between two men. Why not the ceiling?
They did it for yourself. It says nothing with you. It says nothing with you. The truth is, belongs to Hashem. This money is kingship, belongs to Hashem.
So we're not.
Right. Yes, it is. Okay. That's what you want. What?
When it comes.
Yes, tzedakah, yeah, when you give tzedakah, you have to know that you're just a custodian.
If they don't know it comes from you, it's even better.
Yeah, that's the highest level of tzedakah. Yes. So let's go back. Rav Yosef brought a proof that kites is the problem. Because the Gemara says, I cannot redeem a slave with grains and vessels. Why? Why not? He was not worth it. It's not worth it. Even guess it was out. If it's worth, why not? Shvek is a guess. Must be because not kites. So what does Apple answer for that? The Eidoch, Achikoma. This is what it means to say. The Torah Skebul Nickname, the Torah Tvove Kelim, Aniu Chalipim. It's to say Tvove Kelim. It doesn't work because Tvove Kelim is Chalipim. And you cannot redeem a slave with Chalipim. Like Rav Nachman, no, my parents have the Chalipim. I can Rav Nachman holds that fruit doesn't do Chalipim, regardless, nothing to do with it with a slave. All over the Torah, fruits cannot be Chalipim. Must be in Aloilam. There's no value. You the commerce by you yes. But what's the chiddush of Buah Kelim? It's not worth it. Even Kesef is out. No, there's a chiddush. Loi mi boy kesef dis beisho beputo ini loi loi. My money was worth puto yes now. Here is a chiddush. But would say, seems the pleasure is close. Food, wheat is close enjoyment. Vessels he can wear, close enjoyment. He concludes and he's marking himself. No. There says only money and not for Bekalim, even though it's less of a put, even though the ano is close, get is out. That's the way Rabbi would learn the price. There's nothing to do with kites and not kites. I'll bring another proof. The Tanya we learned. Egel ze lepido bli. Tali ze lepido bli. Noi eino podui. But, sorry, lo makrum, he didn't say anything. Egel ze bechames lo lepido bli. Tali ze bechames lepido bli. Podui. So again, we have a brisa. The brisa makes a difference, a distinction between if he says this calf, this style is a pidyon, no good. But he said this calf, which is worth, this calf will fulfill the five shloim, so then it is redeemed. This style is for the 5 shloim, it is redeemed. He is redeemed. This redemption, what's the case? If the talis and the calf, the egel and the talis, loy shobi is not worth it. 5 sloim. It's not in his power, all of his power to do so. If it's not worth it, how can he give something that's not worth? The text says 5, not in his power to give less. It doesn't no difference if he said if it's worth this for the sake of 5. It's not worth, not worth. So what's the difference? Why for not putting the safe? Elolav rather not. I've got the show, it is worth. Came the lokaitzi law, the difference in Reish and the Sefer. Rabbi says, to me it makes a lot of sense. This price. What's the difference? It says this calf, this tal is no good. But this talis and this calf and Chamesh Shloim and these go to different. When I mentioned Chamesh Shloim, I cut the price. And then whatever it's worth more is keep the change. So I cut a price in my mouth, right? If it's small, keep the change. I cut the price. It's okay, but when I say Tali said, Egel said, without saying for the sake of 5, I didn't cut a price. Boom, is out. But you, Rabba, that says, I don't care about cutting price. It's always good. So why the Mishnah says when I say Tali says no good? It's always good. I don't even cut a price. That's the Raya of Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi. The Morah says, no, I have an answer. Loi loim the loi shov. Really, it's not worth it. Rabbi answer is not really worth 5 sloim. So if so, what do I care that he said that it's 5? Why should it work? Going to kibela, going to lave. It's a difference. It's a side deal. It comes to your side chiddush, nothing to do. Another whole chiddush, nothing to do with us. And if it says it's worth to me, it's okay. Rav Kahana took a scarf for the sake of being a ben. Omar le didi chosi lishorim. To me, it's worth chamesh loim because I'm a kohen, I'm a rabbi, and I need this scarf. It's a rabbinic scarf. To me, it's worth because I need it. Then here we learned that God learns that if somebody would say to a woman something which is less, let's say he takes a date, that is worth less, or someone says, I want to marry you, and for you it's worth a pluto. For me it's worth a pluto, and you agree, says one word. Only by a kohen. When it's not Shabbat Pluto, you cannot make that money, you need so many money. But if it isn't money, question how much, I can say it's worth to me. It's okay. And if it's not money at all, not Shabbat Pluto at all, he says one word. It even Shabbat is only when it's worth it, but the question how much.
It's not, it's worth something for her in the moment.
Yeah.
If she's really hungry, there's nothing. Okay. I'm married. I need it.
I need it, but it would work for monetary things, selling, but not for Kiddushin, the Ram says, because now with the Pluto, we cannot make it so. Something else.
Rav Yosef, how do you know you can compare a case of a Cohen to the woman?
What?
How do you know you could compare the case of Pidyon Ben to marrying a woman? Who said you can compare this to that? You know, it has to be a dimion in order to be a raya.
I'll tell you how you compare. Both places, the answer is in both places the Torah says Kesef. By Kiddush and Pila Ben. In both cases, Shvek Kesef like Kesef. The question is, it need to be cut or not. And Yosef says, I will show you a brisa that makes a chiluk. If I say, Egel says no good. I say, Mechametz Sloim, it is good much because I cut. That's the difference. You, Rabbi, that says, there's nothing to cut or not cut, so always should be good, always not good. Why do you make this chiluk?
Okay, but you could say that that's miyuchad.
The chiddush that he says he didn't show really.
Yeah, that's very nice, but the Pidyon Ben is a whole different olam than marrying a woman. Pidyon Ben is a whole different world, and it could be miyuchad. It could be it's different. It doesn't have to be that you could stop and compare it.
Okay, but that's the comparison of Rav Yosef.
Okay, so it's not the head rock.
We're going to see Tosfot now. We're going to start Tosfot. Menor, there's a small Tosfot there, third Tosfot on the page. Third on the page. Menor, the Tanya goes. What Taisa says? Not like the Goyim Vilna that he learns Rashbo and Ran. Rashbo and Ran learn the Raya so to the Lishna Bas. That what? The same way by Kiddushim, when it says Kesef has to be kites. They say Koldu, or say here when I say it says like Koldu. If I didn't say it's worth 5 shekels, I didn't cut the numbers, no good. In both places, Shvekes and Kesef, so both places, the Shvekes has to be like Kesef kites. In both cases, we have a limud that Shvekes and Kesef. So he has to be kites, he has to be kites. No different. Comes Toysis and he says, that's not true. Pidyon Ben has nothing to do with Lishna Basra, only Lishna Kama. Why? So let's see the Marsha. I gave her the Marsha yesterday. You guys have the Marsha? Don't have the Marsha? We printed out the Marsha here. You have it in the back of your Gemara. This bigger. It's easier to see. Have a Marsha. Here's the Marsha. I gave out. I have one more. One more. Here's one more. Don't see the back myself. What?
Here, pass me one, please, through the screen.
What?
Can you pass me one through the screen, please?
Yes. Look in the back of your Gemara. You don't have to go through the screen. The back of your Gemara, you have a Marsha.
I got it. I'm joking.
It's a small toises. My Rebbe used to say, the smaller toises it is, the harder it is. The bigger toises, they speak more, they give you more clarity. Right? More condensed. Right. Right.
And the Rebbe said that also.
Send us on a jumbo. No, the president jumbo message. Jumbo sending. Okay. Divrei
the Rebbe also said that.
Yes, it's true. Definitely. The words of Toysis needs an explanation. Obviously, but why? Who? It is. The Omar Ocho Bepinyan Bekoldu, Vadai Lekulan Meloma Klum. The Gemara says here, by Pidyon Koldu, and he says, Egelze, Talize, that's Pidyon Koldu. The Gemara says, Vadai Lekulan Meloma Klum. He says everybody should admit that by Pidyon Ben, when I say whatever it's worth or it is, marry me with the stop, even Rabbi will admit there's nothing. Why? It is for you, Rabbi Feisha. He's saying a chiluk. What's the connection between Pidyon Aben and Kiddush, the two different things? But he says a svara. That's Stam, who says the same concept, and he gives a svara. Why? What is this svara? The Gabi shall buy a woman. What's his svara?
Rabbi that says start with work, it's value that is not biased.
A woman is not professional, but a Kohen is professional. That okay, one second. Go on.
Big value in the diamond. Maybe Strauss wants to see a big value in something.
He said by Yisho, when he says Koldu, everybody agrees that it's Smichus Das. Right? So therefore, here is like Koldu. Being a Raya, there's a Smichus Das. So, I mean, even Rabbi agreed to that. Why here is a case of Chamishi, what Chamishi? It's very hard, Toysis. Toysis says, what is a Raya? He said, Egel says Koldu, right? No good. Why no good? Because everybody should be good. When we say Chamesh Sloim, he's like, says 50, it's worth 50. Only there, Rav Yosef says no good. And here, the Bryce says, when I say 5, it is good. It's against Rav Yosef. In the Geisha, it's against everyone. Because you said, everybody should admit that it's good. The Smith was asked. And here it says, Tali Ze Egel Ze, like Koldu, Lo Maklum, not Pidyon. So the Reish says against everyone the same, it's against Rav Yosef. What kind of Rai is it? He says like this. The Reish of the Kohen is Egel Ze, it's Koldu. And the Seifa Lichoira is Chamishim. So by the Koldu, he said everybody else said this was Das. He says no good upon them.
Yeah, but then it already starts off.
So you can say by Ishos no Sichus Das. By everybody agrees to Sichus Das. When I say Koldu and by a coin there's no Sichus Das somehow. Why? Other guy you can say by a coin there's more Sichus Das because not a woman. A woman you can argue Sichus Das or not. By a coin is a man, it's more of a Sichus Das. So the Reisha doesn't make sense. The Reisha says Eichel says like Koldu. And it says Lo Maklum. And you said there's no Machlokes by Koldu in the Reish. So how come this is a Lisha Kama Yisiraya? Elamai, it's a case of Chamishim, the Seifa. The Seifa says it is good. And Rav Yosef, Chamishim is not good. So the Reish is against everyone. The Seifa is against Rav Yosef. And here the Gemara says, Rav Yosef, what's going on here? It doesn't make sense. So he says like this. The words of Tyson needs an explanation. But who? And it is. The Bedeoba Aroch opinion Koldu. And the Gemara says here, by Pidyon and Becholdu, the Reish, the Bedomar Ocher, who is Omar Ocher? The Bryce said, the Pidyon Koldu. Pidyon Koldu is the Reish. The Bryce says, point to everyone, he didn't say anything. Right? Pidyon Koldu, the Gabi Isho, by a woman, I don't need an appraisal. By a woman, when he says Bakoldu, everybody agrees works. Why? Because I say whatever it's worth means it's the minimum I have. I don't have the minimum, and whatever it's worth more, you agree. It definitely doesn't have less than the minimum. There's only question more than the minimum, then you agree whatever it's more. But here, here I need 5 sloim. So therefore, since I need 5 sloim, who says I have the minimum?
He brings 7 diapers when he says 5.
I told you, Isha, everybody agrees because I definitely have the minimum. I think I've been called to, I don't have definitely the minimum, so therefore it's no good. So the Reish is no good to everyone.
Who says minimum? Maybe it has to be. Well, who says minimum? Not minimum. Maybe it has to be exact. Who says it more and less? It should be exact. 50 exact, not more or less. The Torah says that to be bidiyuk, not more or less.
We're not saying it's bidiyuk. We're not saying that. We're saying.
I know,
Lishne Kama, there's no raya. Why? But the two subjects are different. By Koldu, opinion of Ben is different than Koldu of Isha. Because by a woman, Koldu, everybody agrees that it work because I have definitely the minimum. But my opinion of when I say Koldu, who says I have the minimum? So therefore, maybe there's no Smichus Das. Coin is not happy. He doesn't know what it is. So maybe why according to everyone should it work? Or maybe that's why it doesn't work. Must be. When he said this egel for my redemption, my son, the Ainu Lechamisha Sloim should be doing. He says, you made a mistake. The dimion of the Reisha is not similar to Koldu. When he says Egel Zeh is not Koldu. Because if it's Koldu, it's no different. There's a big chiluk. By a woman, the Koldu there, what? It's definitely Shabbat. And here's a suffix. There's no dimion by the Reisha. In what way the Reisha is doime to Isha? And what way the Reisha opinion aben is doime to Isha? To the case of Chamesh is worth Chamesh. How? But I only said Egel Zeh, I didn't say Bechamesh. No. When I say Egel Zeh, I mean, what is Pidyon Aben? The Torah said 5. I don't have to say it because the Torah said it. So I want to say this be a redemption for the Torah of redemption of the son, where the Torah said 5. So it's as if I said 5. So the reason when I say Egel Zeh means 5. I say Egel Zeh for Pidyon. Pidyon means redemption of the Torah. It's 5. It's totally similar to the case where there's an argument. With the Omar Kamishi, he said 50 is worth 50. So we said before, Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi said Kamishi where is okay. Rabbi Yosef says no okay, no smichus das, so see here. That's what they promote for a raya. When I say Egel Zeh, it's worth 5. I didn't say the word's worth 5, but the Torah said it's worth 5. It's Kamish worth Kamishi, no good. It's Rabbi Yosef, no smichus das. When I say Bechamesh also means I bought an appraisal, it's okay. So when the Sefer, when he says Tali Zegel Zeh Bechamesh, doesn't mean that I said Bechamesh, because even the Reish is as if I said Bechamesh. So if the Reish said Bechamesh, because the Chamesh is the Torah said it, so what does it mean? Egel Zeh Bechamesh. The Torah already said it. What I'm adding in the Sefer means Bechamesh means I bought an appraisal. Betishuma. So after the Sefer I have Shuma, it's okay. Reish is no Shuma. I tell Rabbi Yosef, when I say Chamishim, and it's Shovi Chamish, no Shuma. It's no good. That's the Reish. It's the Raya Terad Yosef. It's Kama. Yes. The Reish that is. Yes. No, that's the answer. That's the Gemara's answer for Karab. So, but what's the Raya of Rabbi Yosef? So you bought a Raya. Rabbi Yosef bought a Raya from what? From the Reish. Why Egel Zeh Tali Zeh? In a Koldu, it's not the case of Koldu, but everybody agrees. And other Rabbi here, he says no good, it's against Rabbi Yosef. And Bichlal, there's worth minimum, that's what it works. And here's not minimum, so everybody should minimum, so there's no Raya Bichlal. Must be that the Reish is talking about Shovi Chamish. Why? Because the Torah said, when I say Pidyon, Pidyon means Pidyon Ben, everybody knows who is 5. The Torah part. This will be a redemption for the Torah 5. As if as I said 5 is worth 5. And yet it says no good. It's all right. Rabbi Yosef, there's no such that. And the same thing when I say it doesn't because I said my words. When I bought a shuma, I bought a proof to my words. Basra comes the man and he says, Basra, the pligilei, Basra, and they argued before, the that says the Oma Bekoldu that they argue Bekoldu. There's no Raya here because he is not Koldu. He is Bechamesh Loy. And other Rabbi, their Koldu already agrees because by Koldu the Machloek is not Kais, and he is not Koldu because you don't even it was worth 5. Again, אבל אין שני באסה דפליגי לאל, דומה בקולדו, מה יסירה יוחו, דובנה אלה בוים בקולדו. Okay, we didn't say koldu, because if we said koldu, it's a big chiluk. Their koldu maybe it's not kites, or their koldu is worth minimum, whatever it's worth. He is not worth the minimum. Umiu kosher. Comes the Maharshon, he says, okay, we understood the Raya, the Lishna Kama, it's not a Raya Lishna Bas. The Lishna Kama, the Raya is, Talize, it's like Hamishi. Talize, the Pidon of Hamishi, or the and Lo Maklum, because like Kam Yosef, no Kai, and Lo Maklum, so that. I basically want to be in the praises of, but Lishna Bas, that what the Bekoldu, there's a Machloik, no Loikait. The Reish is not called to because there's Hamishi. No Raya. Here I didn't say called to. Here I said Hamishi. Umiu Kosh. However, it's hard.
You're relying on relying that it's 50. You're relying that the animal is 50.
What?
You're relying that the animal is worth 50.
Right. So therefore, it's not a case of koldu. It's not a case of koldu. It's a case of Hamishi. It's worth Hamishi. It's not a case of koldu. It's exactly the same.
How do you know it's worth Hamishi?
What?
Maybe it's not worth Hamishi. How do you know it's worth Hamishi, the animal?
I don't know if it's worth Hamishi. But the question, what did he say? He said koldu, he said Hamishi. So the Maharsha understands that the case Talizeh is as if he said Hamishi. Because when he says Pidyon Bli, means the Torah. But I want to redeem the Torah's obligation. Otherwise, it's fine. Everybody knows the word is written in the Torah.
That's what it says, it's telling me that it's worth it. Even he's relying on it, but it's supposed to be worth it.
When he says Talizeh, Egel Zeh, he's talking about Hamishi. That's the case.
It's very nice, but it may not worth. Maybe it's not.
I don't care if it's worth or not worth. It's another shayla. And we're talking about what did he say?
Yeah,
what case?
Yeah,
but the Braise didn't reveal if it's worth or not. Braise said, if I say Tali they're no good, say Bechamesh is flowing, it is good. That's what it says.
So it's the heckrock of the Braise. The Svora of the Braise is built on the Svora.
The Braise, the proof of the Braise is that what? That the Maharsha says that when he says Egel Zeh, Tali Zeh, he's talking about Hamishi was worth Hamishi because Tali said the word worth in the Torah. And it says no good. So that's right. Rabbi Yosef, when he said Hamishi, what Hamishi is no good. Because no speak was das. When he says V'chamesh means he bought in a Shuma, it's good. This is the Maharsha. So the whole Maharsha is built on one svara. That Egel Zeh, it's not a svara of Koldu. Egel Zeh cannot be Lishna Basa Koldu. Why? Because by Koldu of a woman, you have the minimum. Years, as someone knows, it cannot be Koldu. Must be, Tali Zeh means Hamishi, I'm talking about the Torah Pidyon. The Pidyon, whatever the Pidyon of the Torah. This is the svara of the Maharsha. But according to Rashba and Ramban, they learn that the Gemara is a raya to the Lishna Basra. So how do they learn? How do they learn the Gemara? This is the point of the shir. How does the Ramban and Iran, when they learn that the raya is a Lishna Basra, how do they learn? Very good. Comes there, going to villain, he says that the raya, according to the Ramban and Iran, let's see inside the second page. Look at the top of the page. What we do? The Tanya Eka Mekure. See you all in the bus. It's a help in the mass. And I'm going to explain the Machloik in the Goin and the Maharsha. The Goin, the Maharsha is spending choices. And the Goin will explain to the Rashba and Ramban. So how did they learn? So like this. See you all in the bus. They learned that it's a proof that the Lishna Basa. How? The Omar Egel Bechamesh Modui, the Sefer, the rise on the Sefer. He says this Egel is worth 5. It's redeemed. Why? Came at the Omar Chomesh, since he said the word Chamesh, Avekait is cut. And Skalel. Hey, what about the first opinion? So the Reish, when he says Tali Zeh, Egel Zeh, it's Koldu, right? Koldu. And if it's stopped, and the husband learned, stop is like Koldu. So it's no good, Koldu. Ayisha Koldu works. Lishna Basra. Koldu, sorry. The Reish is Koldu, and Koldu, I says no good, it's not kites. And Stam and Koldu is all the same, doesn't work. Save it, he says, but I'm slow. He said a number, and even if it's worth more, the change keep for yourself. So it's cut. So the Sefer, he said, Kamesh, it's kites. It works. Reish, it's kites. Koldu or Stam is not kites. Out the windows, no good. That's a right, Yosef. What about the first time? He says no. The time Arisha, now he argues with the Marshal. The Rashban Aram, he explains why they don't know like the Marshal. The time Arisha, the first reason doesn't apply here. The first reason of who? Of Rab and Rabbi Yosef that says the Pamas Mikus Das. He said doesn't apply. Doesn't apply. Marshal said, according to Torah, says does apply. And the Reisha is what? Is Hamesh, the word Hamesh. So the Smikus, that's no Smikus Das, according to Rabbi Yosef. They say if he bought an appraisal. That's the way the Marshal is learned. He say no. No Shayach Ochel. Here is not Shayach, and when he says 5, it's worth 5 of the Reisha, and it's not worth no Smikus Das. And how the Marshal learned? That when he says Tali Zel Pidyon, it means for the 5 of the Torah. Just like he said 5, it's worth 5. What Rabbi Yosef holds? That's the ratio. Yes, that's the ratio. So the ratio is a proof to Rabbi Yosef that when there's no smichus das, right? That's the way the Marshals learn. It's not true. Why not? Because the man is professional in appraisal. It's not like a woman. A woman, he can say, they say 50 is worth 50. According to Rabbi Yosef, the woman doesn't know. But a man definitely knows. He's a Kohen, he knows. He's involved in the world. Aval Bereisha will stop. Came with the lokites. Why? And the Reisha not good only because not cut. But the reason was because not Shayach here. Because here we talk about a man, not a woman. Oh, that's a very passionate amount. So, and the Toises. Toises said, and the Reisha is Chamishim, what Chamishim, and it's no good because no smichus das. Not true. Only by order no smichus das. Here's a man. Other Marshal will answer that. Cash on a Marshal Toises. So I have to say Toises learns. Isha love Davka. Also with a man.
Why is like that? Either way.
Isha love Davka. All of the most says Isa Soli became Yeshua. Yeshua love Davka. Even a man, even a Kohen.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. Continuing. The Isa comes about, going to really says. The Isa, the Lelishna Kama, Bekoldu Davka. If you want to say that Lelishna Kama, when he says Koldu, it's specifically Koldu and not Stam. It's all clear with the Stam Rabin. I mean, you have to say that when I say Stam, I say, I want to marry you, Behen, Kemoshehan. Everybody agrees that it works. But she agrees, Kemoshehan. When I say Stam, if you want to say not like the Rashba, that Rabbi will admit, they ain't no Kudeshes, because I didn't give it, she didn't agree. Stam, he said, the Plukta, the Lebekim Shul and Shaykha still doesn't work. Because the argument of Lebekim Shul is not Shaykha, he is a man. And since, so there Rabbi holds that ain't no Kudeshes. And here, it's not Shaykha, because everybody admits to work, because a man is Bakim B'Shuma. In Ken and Kansil Lishna Basra, there's no proof. Lishna Basra, and Kansiua, the Lishna Basra. If there's a chili between Stam and Koldu, there's no Rai with the Lishna Basra. The Rabbi Poli Gnam Bestam Lishna Basra. When he said the Rabbi argues Bestam, only be Koldu. Must be that Rabbi also argues Bestam. And Stam and Koldu is the same. The Raya is, we see here, that when he says Tali Zeh, which is Stam, which is like Koldu, Tali Zeh is no good. Must be right to Rabbi Yosef. It must be that Rabbi Yosef argue not only in Koldu, also with Stam. But Toisves Shem argue. Toisves argue in the Samar show here. But Toisves Shem the moment Chilmona Pirish. Before Toisves. What do we got? What do we got here? Machloikes, Toisves, Rashba, Ran. How do you read the Gemara? Going to the Rashba and Ran, the demon from from Egel to Kiddushin is one. It's not shaykh to speak with das at all. But there's a woman, there's a man, there's no speak with das. So it's only I have kites. Egel say, I didn't say numbers. Says out. The Chames Loim, I said the numbers. Good. See, it's very simple. I Egel say it's not called with stam. Some called is the same. So this is the way the Rashbon Ran, the Ramba, the Rashbon Ran. But the Toises he learns, no. I don't make a chiluk between Smichus and men and women, they're all the same. No Smichus. So when I say Koldu in Israel, and here Egel says that's Koldu. Egel says Chamishim. I say Egel says the Pinyan Ben, when the Torah wrote in the Torah, open the Torah, says Chamesh. So when I say Egel says Lo Maklum, when I say Chamesh, what Chamesh? Why Lo Maklum? Because why Lo Maklum? Because Lo Sam Chadai. When I say Bechamesh Lo means I being a Shuma. So really, if I want to put the point, they say, put the needle. Where's the machlokes between the Rashbo and Toisves? Is a svara of loy biki b'shumas only by a woman, also by a man. According to the Rashbo and the Ran, woman and man, two different things. So cannot be a guy, according to the Rashbo, it cannot be a guy only Lishna Basa. Because Balishna Kam, Rav Yosef says no Smichus, but he is a woman. He is a man, definitely Smichus. A woman doesn't, but a man does. So it should be Smichus. Must be as a right to Lishna Basa, and the Reish is like Kite, save his kites. And Stam and Kodu is the same. It's the same. But according to the Maharsha, he says no, by a woman Kodu is in, but I have definitely shown a photo. By Pinyan Ben Koldu, it's not because five Shkolim or not. So Lichoyer cannot be right. He's attacking the Ramban, the Rashbo, one second, what is he attacking? Says you, the Rashbo and Ran learn that the Ra is Lishna Basra, that what? That when I say Koldu, it is a problem of kites. That's the Reisha. He says it cannot be. Why? Because Koldu by a woman and Koldu by Ever is two different things. You want to say the Reisha is Koldu, going to the Rashbo and going to the Rashbo and the Ra. The Ra is the Lishna Basa, right? What's the Raya? The Reisha is Koldu, no good, because that kite safer. I bought a kite is okay. This is the way the Rashbo and Ra learns. Come to Master says that's true. Because the koldu of a woman is Vanai Shalapunta, that's why everybody agrees it works. But the koldu of a woman by Chamim Sloim, who says worth 5 things altogether. So therefore, who says their koldu works? So different koldu.
Not necessarily true between a man and a woman. What about if you're engaging someone's father? You give it to the girl's father or a brother, shliach kabbalah, and then he's shuma. Then you know.
Again.
What if you're giving it to the girl's father or brother to accept it? Then it's different. Shuma, because a man know shuma.
When I give it to the girl's father, yes, no.
Then it's all different case.
I pointed out with the difference. Very, very good enough commitment. If you give it to the father,
or a
and the father's only a woman, is not Bicky, but the father's Bucky. That's who.
You get the same case.
Right. According to the Goy Vilna, there's a chiluk between man and woman. According to the Maharsha, there's no chiluk, be no difference. I'll be enough chiluk. Very good. Okay, we'll stop here. Review it well. Know it well. Followed it.
My mind is there. Finished. No, I have to review it. I can find it in English, so I needed help. Sorry, yes, I'm here.
I just want to mention one thing before we separate. I want to summarize what's the machlokes choices against the Rashbo and the Ra. Going to the Rashbo and the Ran, the Raya of the Gemara of Rav Yosef is the Lishna Bas. We have to say the Reish is Koldu, and Stam is like Koldu. And by Koldu is not kites. We cannot talk about smichus das. Because by a man always have smichus das. It's totally out. The Maharshoseler, no, the guy is a lishna kama, not bas. So because the lishna kama, the guy is the reisha is like chamishi. Because he can't say it's koldu because the difference koldu there is worth a minimum and here the says worth a minimum. It was much higher. So it must be when I say talizeh, it's chamishi. Talizeh the opinion of the Torah is chamishi. So the reisha is chamishi, no good. Like Hadyois, because most people say chamishi. In the Sefer, when he says Bechamisha Stagoni, means I bought it in a appraisal. Betishuma says work. But the Nishna Basra, the Marshal says, is out. Why? Because here the Reish is not Koldu. Why is that Koldu? Because their Koldu has definitely the minimum. Here the Koldu doesn't have the minimum. So who says the same Koldu? Koldu when it works.
Does Kodu just mean
The Lishna Basra Koldu according to Rabba works. And according to Rabbi Yosef is not cut. He says the window argument if it's not cut, it's no good according to Rabbi Yosef by Koldu. According to Rabbi it is good. He says that's only of when I have the minimum. But when I have the minimum, when I don't have the minimum, when I have a suffix when I have the minimum, even Rabbi will agree maybe it's no good. So it cannot be a right to Lishna Basra. Must be the ratio of the price of opinion Ben is Hamishim is worth Hamishim.
So you said something and the rabbi didn't hear you.
So we're back to where we started from.
Yeah, it's a review of everything.
So you're relaxed because you know definitely worth whatever you need. The question is more your expectation. But when I say marry me, whatever it's worth, hey, whatever it's worth, who says how you in? I agree with you, but who so my dad's in the Ika, not my dad in expectation. My dad in the essence who says is worth whatever it's worth. Maybe it's totally out.
Because like something,
bare minimum?
because like a bare minimum. Way more, yeah.
What? Yeah.
The idea is you're saying, oh, private is gonna food, and here it's so expensive. The book like a minimum, like
One's
one's worth more, and one of them is worth less. He says, oh, I have chance to go after the other food. Technically, it's like a very
But the Mitzadas, as far as Rabbi, if Rabbi says the Koldu agrees, Rabbi Yosef says Koldu is a problem of kites. Rabbi says Koldu is no problem of kites in the Smichus Das. Not true. By Yisha the Smichus Das because they have the minimum. But by Pina Ben who says as minimum, so even Rabbi will admit. By Reisha is not a guy at Rabbi Yosef against Rabbi because Rabbi says true. There's no problem of kites. But there's a problem of Smichus Das because who says I have the minimum of Chemes Loim? So there was no raya from the Reish against Rabba. Because Rabba also says no good. That's the point of the Mahash. After
the idea is not just the minimum required on the trial.
The higher amount.
You have to get to the root of the approach. If there's a problem of
Smichus Das or not.
Right, and why would you have
You said Bekoldu, it's only a problem to Rabbi Yosef, not a problem to Rabbi. Not true. By Pina Ben, even Rabbi has a problem. Even without kites, because who says he has the minimum, it's not Smichus Das. Therefore, it's not a guy to Rabbi Yosef against Rabbi, Lishna Basra.
oh, I'm not worried. I think
You got it, Rabbi Yoshua? Okay, we stop here. We'll give another share.
the next thing is
Next sugi will be Ksubis.
oh yeah? Not mashkin.
No, he's changing a masech. We're gonna have a shiur kloli on Thursday.
Shalom Aleichem.
Yeah, you should prepare the Mishnah, the Lechem Mishnah, Rav Lechem Mishnah. It's a big Lechem Mishnah.
Not Mona inside mashkin.
No, that's already by then. That's by Israel. You want to give a share. Everybody. What? Daftet, not the sign. Daftet. Where?
The mini shack.
Are you gonna do a siyam? Are you gonna do a siyam?
Where are you reading? Which where? No, not the time. The time that's in. It's a note.
See him Yom Chamishi.
In Zana Mudalef below, in Zana Mudalef below. Yeah,
Well,
I'll show you. Listen, the book is that way.
See, this is a lot of fun, no?
Yes, a lot of us marriage already.
Yeah.
Marching marriage.
It's gonna be a.
Right over there.
If I go out with someone,
Yes.
believe it.
See him
People
Yom